Hi, my name is Mike Goldman, and I'm the meeting doctor. Today, what I'd like to talk about is what is meeting facilitation. In order to really talk about meeting facilitation, I'd like to really set a context for what meeting facilitators have to deal with. So, this is what I want you to do. I want you to imagine you're in a meeting, and I want you to think back to a terrible meeting. One of those meetings where things really didn't work out well. In that meeting, you may have experienced the following. Number one, the actual reason for why the meeting was happening or the purpose was very unclear. Two, it could have been the outcomes or the deliverables, either tangible or intangible, that you were there to achieve were also unclear or not equally understood by all the meeting participants. Number three, you may have had difficult or challenging people attending the meeting. For example, someone who dominated the meeting, someone who rambles on and has to tell huge stories that consume all the time for the meeting, or other people who just sit back and don't participate and maybe be looking at their phones, the computers, and essentially zoning out. These are the kind of challenges that meeting facilitators have expertise in and understand the tools and techniques on how to deal with them. First and foremost, facilitators help their clients understand why they're there. Why are we having the meeting? This is what we call the purpose. Once we understand why people are there, we then seek out the outcomes. The outcomes speak to what in the end the participants and the client want to achieve as a result of the meeting. Once a facilitator, a meeting facilitator, understands the purpose and the outcomes, he or she can sit down and define the process. The process is a step-by-step structured discussionary guide that helps lead the discussion so that the group doesn't jump to coming up with solutions to problems before the real problem is actually identified. Facilitators bring structure, but they also bring knowledge on how to deal with challenging behaviors. Facilitators use norms or help the group set guidelines to ensure that the group acts respectfully throughout the conversation. The meeting facilitator will intervene when those guidelines are broken, such as people going off topic or people taking over the conversation. Ultimately, meeting facilitators ensure that clients and groups meet the outcomes that they desire to get. They do this by creating a safe, fun, and highly collaborative, engaging environment in order to achieve what ultimately the client and the groups are coming together to achieve at the end. So let's talk about who needs to really learn facilitation practices. The people who would best benefit from facilitation competence are the following. Project managers, managers of any level who run meetings, professionals who need to increase buy-in and decrease resistance in group meetings, Six Sigma and Lean professionals who act as internal or external consultants, team leaders who have to deal with intact or cross-functional teams, and finally, business analysts. If this information was helpful to you, please subscribe to The Meeting Doctor.